Well, who shares the Big East championship? Syracuse or Miami? Here's Ron Franklin. Ron?
This site has been a proving ground for many teams. The same tonight as one coach hopes to take down a team he's never beaten and put an exclamation mark on his season, his program. Across the way, another looks to use this game as a catalyst to continue a hurricane resurgence. The Orangemen ride the poise of a freshman quarterback who will have to remain calm in the eye of a storm. A tropical depression led by a warrior who wants the King storm surge to go up and over their opponents from the Northland. All in the bewildering fog of college football fortune, where tonight, present tension can lead to future success. Syracuse, Miami, for a share of the Big East Championship. You're looking at an aerial view of the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. Number 22, Syracuse, against number 25, the Hurricanes of Miami. And it is a gorgeous night for football. And why is this one so important? Well, for Virginia Tech, the Hayes Harding barn. They're 9-2 regular season. They're 6-1. And the winner of this one tonight will tie them for a share of the Big East Conference Championship this year. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried, and welcome to our final CFA Primetime Saturday night telecast. You know, Mike, for the Miami Hurricanes, they can salvage a lot for their psyche as not only their season. They lost 3 of their first 4 football games, but now they've won 6 in a row. And the importance of this one tonight, not only 8 victories, but also the bowl games, which we'll talk more about. But they got to stop a birthday boy, Donovan McNabb, who just turned 19 today, and he has been very comfortable as a first-year quarterback at Syracuse.
Well, Ron, we got to watch his first start, which was the North Carolina game, and Donovan McNabb has a strong arm and is a very accurate passer. He can hurt you a lot of ways, going back to pass and taking off to run the football. The other way he can hurt you is with the option. They'll run the option, they'll work Conrad inside, and Donovan McNabb's an excellent runner off the option. Now, Miami on the other side has a real tough task trying to stop him, because they're going to try to stop him with Ray Lewis, the inside middle linebacker. That's an excellent player. He'll work on the fullback, Conrad. But really, I think the 2 players that have the biggest jobs ahead of them is Kennard Lang and Kenny Holmes, the 2 defensive ends, because they have to contain Donovan McNabb.
I'll tell you who else has a big task tonight. I understand Mike Adamle understands the ramifications of who wins against whom in this ball game tonight, and some others. Mike, can you sort some things out for us, please?
Ron and Mike, I will try to, but it is complicated. You know, intertwined in tonight's outcome is poor Virginia Tech. As you mentioned, Ron, they finished their season at 9-2, 6-1 in conference play. Among those 6 victories, a 13-7 conquest of Miami, as the Hokies held the Canes to season lows in points and rushing. They did the same to Syracuse, routing them 31-7. Now, by all rights, Virginia Tech should be having beaten both teams, the Big East Alliance representative in the Orange Bowl. But here is where the picture gets cloudy. Now, we do know tonight's loser goes to the CarQuest Bowl. If Syracuse wins, they're in the Gator, and indications are that Virginia Tech gets the Orange Bowl bid they deserve. But if Miami is victorious, they would wind up in a tie for the conference title. And since there is no formal tie-breaking procedures in the Big East, in all probability, the Hurricanes would get the Orange Bowl bid, given their drawing power here in South Florida. However, hanging over Miami's head, NCAA sanctions. Should the university find out about those sanctions next Saturday, and should the sanctions include a ban on bowls, Miami may elect to have the ban take effect this year. We're not sure that decision is going to happen in time, but it would be something that they would definitely consider. Gentlemen, have fun.
Okay, Mike, we will. We look forward to hearing from you tonight. And I'll tell you what, Mike, after the 7th day of October, which was the game against Florida State, which we did in Tallahassee, this football team, the Miami Hurricanes, were only 1-3, and not many people would have bought an 8-win season. Do you think?
No, I don't. But, Ron, they're going to meet a team tonight, Syracuse, who has confidence that they can come in here and win this football game.
Turner and McIntosh, the 2 men back deep, as Pruitt kicks it off. Wobbly spiral taken by Turner. Out across the 35-yard line, and great field position for Syracuse. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Russell Athletic. Quarterback Donovan McNabb. He is as good an athlete, I believe, Mike Gottfried, as we have seen in a while at that position. Also plays basketball for the Orangemen. The wide receivers, well, how about Marvin Harrison? The best Syracuse receiver according to numbers. And here's some of the folks that he's in front of. Art Monk, Kadri Ismail, Rob Moore, Rob Carpenter. The offensive line, Cy Ellsworth, the heart and soul at right guard. And we'll talk more about that as we get going. Shovel pass. That's Thomas, and he will take it out across the 45 for a 6-yard gain. Defensively, this is the way they start. Kenny Holmes at that right defensive end spot, 6.5 sacks. He's been really outstanding this year. Number 3 on the team in total tackles. In the middle, Ray Lewis, a lot of people say as a junior, he may be as good a middle linebacker or linebacker at all as anybody in the country. Tremaine Mack at strong safety, he has come up big. He can make the big play and has continued to improve as this season has gone on. Running play. Oh, what a hit at the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Thomas got wrecked by Ray Lewis, the middle linebacker.
Ron, most teams come into this stadium of Miami's and they hope to win. They don't expect to win. But talking to the Syracuse coaches last night and the players, the confidence that they had, I really do believe they think they can win this football game in here tonight and get a share of the Big East title. But they have confidence coming in here tonight.
I thought that yesterday and watching them as they walked through and had their Friday workout, Mike. Third down, line to make, midfield. McNabb. This is what he brings to the table right there. He will have the first down. Holmes ran him out of bounds, but it looked as though they had him trapped.
Well, there's no doubt, Ron. He is an excellent runner. He played basketball in high school. You talk about he plays basketball at Syracuse University. He just has great speed, and Paul Pasqualoni doing the right thing with him, sprinting him out so that the pass is not there. He can run for the first down. Just ran past Ray Lewis, who's playing tonight with 2 injured ankles.
Add to that a turf toe, and Ray Lewis is playing with some pain below the knees. Malcolm Thomas, the only setback. The scrimmage from the Miami, Florida 8-yard line. Thomas runs into his own blocker, tries to bounce it outside. 96, Bernard Lang, the sophomore from Orlando, steps up to make the tackle on him. No gain.
Ron, when high school players come out of high school into college, they're rated by a lot of services. Tom Lemming, who's out of the Chicago area, is really good at evaluating high school talent. He rated Donovan McNabb as the number 2 option quarterback coming out of high school that year, which is pretty good statistic for him. He played basketball on the Mount Carmel team, averaged 17 points a game. They had a 25-4 record, so you know he's a pretty good athlete.
3 wide receivers on this set. Play action. That's a good fake. Drills it out in the flat. He's got his tight end. It's Williams inside the 35, and he's down inside the 30. Now, it's Syracuse very convincing on their opening play.
Well, the key we talked about early in the ball game was the 2 defensive ends from Miami, Kennard Lang and Kenny Holmes, that they have to keep Donovan McNabb inside. And see, they lose contain right here. Donovan McNabb has too long to throw the ball to Roland Williams, the tight end, but he's also outside to run the ball if he chooses to do that. 2 plays now he's been able to get outside the defensive ends.
Thomas and Morris this time in the backfield. 18 yards on that pass play to Roland Williams. Looked like Jim Ledger came out of his stance a little too quickly. Ledger, one of the offensive linemen who has played very consistently this year.
Go back to our opening game this year, Ron. We had the North Carolina game when Syracuse really didn't make a decision on the starting quarterback until that ball game, and Donovan McNabb got the edge over Keith Downing and Kevin Johnson.
You know, Mike, I remember that ball game that McNabb started off shaky in the first half, but he got very comfortable in the second half, and you could see what he could do. So many weapons. They set screen out in the flat. That is a nice move by Thomas to get outside, and he takes it in the vicinity of the 30-yard line as Lewis is out there to make the tackle on him.
Malcolm Thomas, the tailback's known for his tremendous quickness. Is a good inside runner, just makes people miss. Donovan McNabb's going to set up and just flare the ball out to Malcolm Thomas, number 17. They've got a shot at him. Tony Coley has a shot, just misses him. But again, you see the quickness. Ray Lewis runs him down to make the tackle.
So they almost make it back to the original line of scrimmage following that procedure call a moment ago. It'll be second down. Again, Syracuse operates with only 1 setback behind McNabb. the sideline. Nice, just going to throw this one away. Kenny Holmes pressuring. Dion Maddox was the closest wide receiver to it.
Ron, you have a great receiver on this field tonight for the University of Syracuse here. As you watch on third downs, Marvin Harrison is the player they like to go to. We've seen a lot of great receivers this year, and Marvin Harrison may be as good as there is in the country.
Well, I mentioned that group that he had moved in front of as far as his numbers up at Syracuse. Art Monk, Rob Moore, Kadri Ismail, Rob Carpenter. Those are some awfully good names, Mike.
And you look at the statistics, 11 on third downs, all for first down. So you know Donovan McNabb's going to have an idea where Marvin Harrison's at.
So let's keep an eye on number 8. Gets it to him, and he's got it at the 5-yard line. First and goal, Orangemen.
Ron, what makes Marvin Harrison good is the fact that he can get in and out of his route. And he shows that again to us tonight. A lot of pro scouts are here tonight, but watch him. He'll take the route inside. Now he doesn't lose any steps there, and he's able to come back outside. He got Tremaine Mack turned all around. Look at that leaping ability to make that catch. Take a second look at it. Look at the concentration. I think he's as good as there is in the country.
Mike, it's 26 yards in the play. McNabb was like a 7-yard drop. He threw a rope almost 35 yards.
Strong throw.
Conrad in the ball game. And he'll take it close to the 2-yard line. It's going to be about at the 2.5.
Ron, this Syracuse team has taken off with Rob Conrad, the new young fullback. And you notice the number. He has number 44. They give him the great number at Syracuse, but 6 touchdowns in his last 2 games. He's gotten hot in about the last 4 ball games for Syracuse. But when you run the option attack, if you have a good, strong fullback inside, that just makes everything work. Then the quarterback on the pitch, the tailback receiving the pitch, and then the play action off the option game. So Conrad has really been a missing part, and it's helped them.
Paul Pasqualoni knows how important it is to come into somebody else's ballpark and score on the first possession. Thomas, he's not going to get there. At about the 2-yard line, Marvin Davis is there, the sophomore out of Homestead, and he will deny him the end zone. It'll be 3rd down.
Miami's good against offenses in the red zone, but they've got their work cut out against the Syracuse offense. What's dangerous about Syracuse down here is number 5, Donovan McNabb, can fake that ball and take it outside.
Gonna throw it, swings it back to his running back, all alone, touchdown Thomas. Well, I think our perception was correct after watching Syracuse in their walkthrough yesterday and before the ball game tonight. Well, there's a confident football team.
There's no doubt they believe they can win this football game. Now, I think it could be a high-scoring game, so they're going to have to keep scoring some points here because I think Miami's capable of putting points on the board also. But this is a team that believes they will win here tonight.
Melinda Murray to attempt the extra point and try to put the Orangemen up by a count of 7-0. And he does. And as we head to break, let's take one more look at McNabb throwing to Thomas. And the Orangemen on their opening drive, 7-0. ESPN's presentation of CFA Primetime is brought to you by the all-new Plymouth Voyager, the next generation of the minivan. And by Sega, makers of Genesis, Color Game Gear, Sega CD, and the fastest, coolest video games ever. By the way, we welcome the Blockbuster Video Blimp and its crew to tonight's telecast. Piloting the Blockbuster Blimp is Paul Adams from London, England.
Number 6, Trent Jones. And number 36, Magic R.D.
Shamare to kick it off. And Mikey has an amazing number as far as kicking into the end zone. His percentage extremely high. Now, right now, as you look at it, 38 of 55. He is kicking a little bit into a headwind here, and I wonder if he's got strong enough leg to kick it into that wind and get this one into the end zone.
The defensive players love him because it makes the offense go a couple more first downs to get down the field.
Benton and Trent Jones back at a dual safety. got it. 2 yards deep into the end zone. So the scoring drive for Syracuse, 11 plays, 60 yards, 4 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock. And Thomas with that 1-yard TD reception. Key play, Marvin Harrison, 26-yard reception, which gave them a 1st and goal at the 5. So as we look up, and Ryan Clemens comes trotting on the field for Butch Davis and his ball club. And after this first play, we'll get into the starting lineups for the Hurricanes and also for the Orangemen on their defensive side of the ball. Going to throw on 1st down. Gets it out complete. That's Yatil Green, and he is ridden out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Ryan Clemens has taken over at quarterback. 9 interceptions, 6 touchdowns. Big thing tonight, he's got to stay out of trouble for the Hurricanes to be in this one. Jamie German, boy, finally he has started to live up to his high school expectations. They thought he was going to be the next Deion Sanders. Played really well this year. And on the offensive line, Art Keough didn't know if he's going to have a quorum or not. They only have 5 healthy players up there. Richard Mercier at guard, a freshman who has been outstanding. Gets this one out of the flag, and that's German. And he's going to have the Miami 1st down as we check the starters on defense for Syracuse. Chris Marks, last time we saw him, he was at left outside linebacker. They've moved him to right defensive end, and he's played very consistently. Nate Helmsley at linebacker, 2nd on the team in tackles, has 108 total, 78 of those are solo. And in the secondary, because of the injury to cornerback Kevin Abrams, this means, Mike Gottfried, that Phil Nash and Rod Gadsden have a lot of pressure on them in this ball game tonight.
Well, there's no doubt this is where Miami's going to work, because when you get a corner like Kevin Abrams out of the ball game, you're going to work on his replacement as Phil Nash, number 10.
Danielle Ferguson would love to go over 1,000 yards in his final regular season game tonight in front of the home folks. Takes it for a gain of close to 5.
Ron, you know when you play Miami, Florida State, you're going to face outstanding receivers. That's still the case tonight. Yatil Green, number 87, Jamie German, number 7, will really work on Gadsden 9 and Phil Nash 10. I think that's a mismatch in Miami's favor tonight, and Miami has to take advantage of that.
Benton is coming to the ball game at wide receiver, number 36, replacing Yatil Green. They fake the run, and he had him open over the middle, but he goes to Tucker, is tied in, and he is stopped at the 49-yard line. And let's check in for the first time tonight with Mike Tirico. Mike, how are you?
Pretty good, Ron. We have this McDonald's breakaway taking us out to Fresno. BYU must win and get help to win the WAC. Steve Sarkisian to Hemahai Muli. 8 yards to score. Cougars lead by 10. Ron and Mike.
Okay, Mike, we will keep an ear on that one. Mike Gottfried, I just been talking about Benton. Actually, Clement missed him. He broke open over the middle. Syracuse had blown a coverage deep.
He was wide open down the middle.
See if they come back to that. Stop and go, and they held him up. That's a good job defensively. He wanted Yatil Green, but the double coverage, one of those was Donovan Darius, who slowed him up.
Ron, Phil Nash looks like he's limping a little bit at the corner. Now, he had the collision on that last play, but it looks like he's limping a little bit. He's out on an island against Yatil Green and Jamie German, so you can see him limping a little bit there, like he got kicked.
Well, we'll see if the Miami Hurricanes come back and go after him. 2nd down and 10, 7-0 if you've just joined us. Just about midway through this opening quarter, as Syracuse was almost flawless on their opening drive to score. Chris C. Jones in motion. Ferguson, nothing at left tackle, and he'll wind up picking up a couple of yards as Dave Rebar is holding on. Senior out of Troop, Pennsylvania. Boy, and a player is down, and this is Curlin Blaze. We didn't know if he was going to start tonight. And Mike, if Blaze comes out of the ball game, they literally, Shabaka Abdul-Mahid will go in replacing him. They have, that's like it. They have 5 healthy offensive linemen left and no more.
Well, the next thing they would have to do is maybe move a tight end to tackle to try to give them some depth at that spot.
Saeed Tucker has been working at that position. We'll talk more about it in just a moment as we take a timeout. 7-0 Syracuse. 7-0 Syracuse as Carlin Blaze has come to the sideline. A high ankle sprain is the way his injury was described. And the huge sophomore out of Orlando trying to walk it off over on the near sideline. Shabaka Abdul-Mahid has replaced him at left tackle. Going to go on top. They got double coverage, but he's there, but he caught it out of bounds. And it's Magic Bennett again, who had found himself free, but he was unable to look and see exactly where he was on the field.
Good call defensively by Paul Pasqualoni and Norv Gerber, the defensive coordinator, to give help to Phil Nash. They had Donovan Darius over the top, so good coverage. You're going to see Nash. He's got the corner row, and there's the safety. Donovan Darius coming over the top of Magic Benton, so good coverage by Syracuse.
Mike Prissy to punt. Marvin Harrison back deep. End over end. It is returnable, but he calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 15. So let's check in with Mike Adams.
Yeah, Ron, here's one only Dr. Jerry Punch could love. Miami's injuries, and boy, there has been a ton this season. Coach Butch Davis has learned a lot about anatomy, more than he ever did in college. Let's start with the ankle, for instance. Ray Lewis, Carlin Blaze, who got hurt again, Roderick Mack, all have been bitten. Kevin Brinkworth out for the year. And look at the knee injuries. Casey Jones, Woodis, Perry, all out for the year, along with Davis and Barnes. They've been bitten. We'll have more in a moment.
Yeah, I started to say that list goes on and on. There's even more. Art Keogh is the man who has had to endure as far as the offensive line. And yesterday I asked him, Mike, at the walkthrough, I said, will you have a quorum? And he said, I hope so. He said, I hope we just have enough to go with.
Well, it's the last game. You expect everybody to play. Rob Conrad's in the game now at the fullback position. So this may be the series that Paul Pasqualoni and George DeLeon want to set up the fullback in the option. Let's see what they do.
Take it for about 5, and let's go back to Mike Adamle to finish that Red Cross checklist.
Yeah, ankle bone connected to the knee bone connected to the another bone, the arm bone. Broke his arm. Jay Johnson, he's out for the season. There was a series of pinched nerves on the Miami ball team as well, and shoulder injuries, just a whole ton of them. Butch Davis knew his job was going to be tough when he came to Miami, but he never figured that injuries would factor into the equation.
Well, I'll tell you, they gave us a 2-page list at the beginning of the week.
Team MVP's a doctor.
That's right. This running play with Thomas is stopped by Kenny Holmes. And from where he spotted it, that's going to be a first down for Syracuse. 7 minutes and 13 seconds left to play in this opening quarter. Syracuse took the opening drive, went right down the field, and scored a touchdown. And Paul Pasqualoni would love nothing more than to play ball possession and do that same thing again here. And gonna run it. Gets by the linebacker and takes it all the way out for a 9-yard gain. Catch NFL Game Day tomorrow when Boomer and the boys look into Dan Marino with a TD pass record, Cordell Stewart, quarterback or wide receiver, and the New York Giants turmoil. NFL Game Day Sunday, 11:45 a.m. sharp.
Ron, you talk about Cordell Stewart, what he's doing with the Steelers, same type of quarterback tonight, and Donovan McNabb can make so many things happen for you at the quarterback position. Just evidence again, tucking the ball away and running for 9 yards.
That was Jeffrey Taylor, who had replaced Ray Lewis at linebacker, and he couldn't run him down. Gain of 9.5. Number 44, Rob Conrad, is going to take it to the 44-yard line. And that offensive line for Syracuse, Ledger, Ellsworth, Pennypacker, Prescott, and Warren doing a really good job up front.
Ron, Rob Conrad was a tailback in high school. He was recruited. He went to the camp at Syracuse, so they knew a lot about him. But he's just now learning how to play the fullback position. Being a tailback in high school, moving up a little closer, playing fullback. And is he learning well?
Well, he's out of the game right now as Malcolm Thomas is the only setback, and they go to that multiple wide receiver set. No place outside. Let's take it up the middle. And Thomas is going to have a gain of close to 10 yards. And what we're going to check on real quickly is average first down play for Syracuse. It has been very, very high in this opening quarter.
Well, Thomas shows you again his quickness, because it looked like there was nothing there. He was going to try to go outside, then broke it up inside for a big gain. And they've been in 2nd and 1 here the last couple second down situations. Here's the ball to Malcolm Thomas. Look, he looks like he's going to go outside now. He darts up inside, shows that great quickness.
Conrad straight ahead. He's going to take it for the first down. Mike Tirico, let's check back with you.
Ron, keeping you updated on the WAC situation. Colorado State controls its own destiny. They play later tonight. BYU still in some trouble here. Michael Pittman, the touchdown run for Fresno State. The Cougar lead is 3. Still tons of time left.
Well, our situation, 7-0. Just under 5.5 minutes left to play in this opening period, and it has been all orange men so far. Bounces it outside on the left, close to the 35-yard line as Tremaine Mack comes up in a strong safety position to make the hit.
Here's a concern I'd have if I'm the Miami Hurricanes right now. Bill Miller, the defensive coordinator, as well as Syracuse is running the football. You've got to start committing some defensive backs to help you versus the run, and that's going to leave Marvin Harrison. I don't know when it's going to happen here, but they're going to play action pass before long, and they've got some wide receivers that can get behind defensive backs. But when you've got this running game going like this, look out for those long passes to the wide receivers off play action.
2nd down at about 4. He comes with the blitz straight ahead. Conrad breaks that tackle, and he's going to have another Syracuse first down. Chris Gibson finally stopped him.
When you look at Rob Conrad, 240 pounds, runs a 4.5 40, and he has given them the inside threat that they didn't really have. A lot like Darrell Johnson when he played there for the Syracuse Orangemen.
Well, now Syracuse has come up with a situation where they have a number of people who can carry the message. I mean, Thomas is running extremely well. McIntosh has come along. Bucky Jones was injured against West Virginia. They get him back as well. Thomas right up the middle. And he'll take it for almost 5. Kennard Lang holding up. All right, Mike, if you're Miami, what do you do to break up what this Syracuse ball club is doing to you?
Well, first of all, Miami's not the same defense under Butch Davis this year as they've been in the past. And the reason is they do not have the dominating defensive tackle. The Warren Sapp, the Jerome Brown, the Cortez Kennedy, the Russell Maryland, that you had the double team that let those linebackers run free. They have defensive linemen that are pretty good, but you can single block them. Syracuse is getting the best of them right now.
That's Turner in motion to the open side of the field. Blitz coming right up the middle. McNabb is going to be sacked, and they get to him with Kennard Lang. Also, Marvin Davis is there. That's the first time that they have sacked the Syracuse quarterback tonight.
Well, Ron, you had asked what you do. Well, what you do is you either commit defensive backs to help you, or you give a linebacker up, and that's exactly what Miami does. They bring Marlon Barnes, number 56, on a blitz. And Kennard Lang gets free and makes the tackle. But when you do that, realize now you have to give up something in the secondary. You're one-on-one with Marvin Harrison in the secondary. So it's a 3rd down situation. Let's see if Marvin Harrison's the primary receiver.
Your point is well taken, though. In the past, they've done it with 4 down linemen. They didn't have to devote linebackers to do it. Gonna go deep. Tipped away. Gibson is the last man who hit it, and Marvin Harrison got turned over, and he looks as though he is a little shaken up.
On this play, Miami knew that they were going to go to Marvin Harrison, so they had double coverage on Marvin Harrison. You see Chris Gibson standing behind him in pretty good shape.
Boy, he had...
And Earl Little inside of him, so they had 2 players in the vicinity of Marvin Harrison.
He had an opportunity to catch that football. This attempt, we're going to say officially, 47 yards. Alinda Mare. Plenty of distance, and he's got it. So we'll take a break. 2:28 left in his opening quarter. 10-0 Syracuse. Look at the Syracuse offense on the bench. 2 possessions, a field goal and a touchdown. They lead 10-0 on first down. They're averaging 5.5 yards per try. And on the far side of the field, the defensive coaches for the Hurricanes of Miami talking it over with their ball club as they've got to put a couple of fingers in the dike because some of those water flowings are getting a little large.
I still think they can score, Ron. In last series, they moved the ball down the field, made a couple mistakes, and had to give it up. But they've got enough weapons to, if they use them correctly, which they have done in the last 7-8 weeks, they've really performed well on offense, that they can come back and score some points in this game.
Trent Jones, number 6, one of the deep men for the Miami Hurricanes, along with Magic Benton, 6 and 36. The goal line, Magic Benton will get an opportunity to return it. Well, tonight at midnight, the championship game of the Great Alaska Shootout, Iowa against Duke. Duke defeated Indiana last night, 70-64. Jeff Cable had 19 points, while Iowa's Kenyon Murray scored 30 to lead the Hawkeyes over UConn, 101-95 in overtime. So the championship game, Iowa and Duke, midnight Eastern time here on ESPN. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Mike Adamley coming to you from the Orange Bowl on the southern tip of Florida. Just over 2 minutes to play in this opening period. Temperature 70 degrees here at kickoff time. And we were up in Syracuse, a high of 38 and a low of 25 with a 40% chance of snow. Danielle Ferguson gets the pass out of the backfield, breaks the tackle, and he will have the first down as Darryl Parker made the stop.
Well, he picked up a great block from Jamie German, number 7 on the outside. Really opens up Danielle Ferguson after the catch. Just again, a quick flare by Ryan Clement, just throwing the ball out here to Danielle Ferguson. Let's see if we pick up the block by Jamie German, which allows another 6-7 yards. There's the block.
The completion is 13 yards.
Here's another look at the block by Jamie German. Just eyeing him up. What a great block on Mike Brown, a linebacker, number 26.
And Rod Gadsden is still down, the sophomore out of Fort Myers, Florida, 5'7", 176. He has 3 interceptions on the year, 11 pass breakups. And he went down a couple of yards further downfield and tried to get to the bench, and the trainers came out and he went down again.
Well, they are thin already on the corner position, losing Kevin Abrams before this ball game. That means Anthony Walker has to come into the ball game. 6 foot, 200-pound junior.
Ed Morris on the third. All in score.
So we'll get a report on Gadsden as the first down takes the change to the 36-yard line. Ferguson back into the boundary. Has 5, 6, and 7 yards and is being tackled and thrown forward by Phil Nash.
Danielle Ferguson is stopped by Dave Lamar.
Danielle Ferguson's an outstanding running back. When he came out of high school here in South Florida, everybody thought he was going to go to Notre Dame. Ended up here at Miami. Leading rusher in the Big East, averaging 5 yards a carry.
So it is a first down. In fact, he was thrown forward with the tackle, and the new line of scrimmage is out at the 46. You can hear the wind whistling up here in the booth through our microphone. Very windy in Miami tonight. Big opening for Ferguson. Has 5, has 10, cut it off at 13. Nate Hensley finally puts the stop on him. And now a good surge by that offensive front. And the Miami Hurricanes are moving the ball on the ground.
We got a great block from Carlo Joseph, number 40, the fullback. You're going to see him lead Danielle Ferguson. There's the block again on Mike Brown, number 26. Danielle Ferguson getting in the secondary. Almost dropped that football. Nate Helmsley with the tackle. Trying to fight for those yardage. for those yards. Nate Helmsley trying to pull that ball out.
Ferguson, nothing to the left. Tries to break it out to the right and is stopped at the 39-yard line by Cottrell. Then as a junior.
Dana Cottrell moved inside. He was an outside linebacker when Antoine Pons was hurt. Dana Cottrell moved inside in his steady defense in the last few weeks.
Here's what Syracuse is missing. We talked about Kevin Abrams and what they lost with him, but look at Antoine Pons, 111 tackles, 8 for loss, which led the team, second on the team in overall tackles. That's a ton out of that defense with those two injuries. Short yardage on this play is Rebar. Comes up to make the stop.
And when you're a 4-3 defensive team, the middle linebacker is the heart of your defense. And when you lose a guy like Antoine Pons, who Norm Gerber said he's the best player he's coached in 39 years. So when you lose a player of that ability, that's where Dana Cottrell has to step in now, give that leadership on the field also. Not only make those tackles, but give leadership in that huddle.
So it's third down. And I think as far as controlling the pace of this one, that this is a very important one as far as the Miami Hurricanes are concerned.
Well, I said earlier, Ron, I thought this could be a scoring game where there's going to be a lot of points put on the board. Both teams very capable.
And now I don't know if they're going to be able to get this play off because of the stoppage. Let's see if they whistle it back in. It's 4 seconds right now. I guess nope, they're not going to start it until the snap of the ball. Coming out of the pocket, throws it complete. That's German for the first down at the 20-yard line. And with that, the end of the first quarter with our score, Syracuse 10 and Miami nothing, but driving. 10-0 Syracuse as we finish that first 15 minutes of play. Time of possession in the first quarter. Syracuse 10-18, Miami 4:42. But this drive right here, the deepest penetration for the Hurricanes tonight. They have it 1st and 10 at the Syracuse 20.
And Ron, Danielle Ferguson is the guy right now that Miami wants to put the ball in his hands.
They fake it to him. To his tight end, and Tucker is going to take it down to the 13-yard line as Phil Nash stayed at home and made the tackle.
Cy Tucker, 6'6", 239 pounds as a tight end. Everybody thought they were going to give the ball to Danielle Ferguson. You see everybody move toward number 1, Danielle. And all of a sudden, Ryan Clement out of the backfield hits Cy Tucker with the pass and the tackle by Nash.
That's a good open field stop. If he doesn't make it, Cy is heading into the end zone.
Give Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator, credit. Good play call on first down.
Ferguson, they try to sweep and they catch him from behind with Antonio Anderson. A junior out of Brooklyn, New York, 6'7", 290, and he got too much penetration.
It looked like they had a slant on to that tight end side. Antonio Anderson beat the block of the guard from the start, was in the backfield to make the play on Danielle Ferguson before he could even get started.
That's a loss of 5. So now we look at a third down with the line of scrimmage at the 18. It's 8 yards to pick up the first. They need the 10 of Syracuse.
Well, you have Marvin Harrison on one side. You got Jamie German on the other side. Number 7, a pretty class receiver also.
German in motion. Goes for the end zone. Collision and pass interference is going to be called as the collision between Nance and German occurred just at the goal line.
Ran him on a flat out. Brought him in motion. You take him out in the flat, and then he breaks upfield. Phil Nash covered him, number 10. Collisions him for the interference.
Mike, I think if they had just collided, if he had not had the outstretched hand, almost like a shiver, I don't think he would have thrown the flag. Do you?
Well, he kept him from getting to the football, and I think that they would have made the call, but the hand out obvious was very obvious.
So it's 1st and goal for the Hurricanes.
We were talking about Jamie German. They expected him to be a Deion Sanders type like player, and I really think he has that kind of ability. He just got to keep improving, keep working. He's going to be a great receiver here.
Mike, let's watch that offensive line. Abdul-Mahid, Simonet, Weiner, Mercier, and Ina. They go to the right side. Touchdown, Miami. Well, they went behind the block of Mike Weiner, the center, and Richard Mercier, the right guard that time, for the score.
Mercier's a freshman, 6'4", 274 pounds, but Ferguson gives you so much power in there with that 200-pound running back style of his.
Pruitt knocks it home, and we have a new score, 10-7. Syracuse lead, cut to 3. ESPN's presentation of CFA Primetime is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Honda, who offers an impressive family of cars, sports utility vehicles, and minivans. And also, we'd like to thank the Blockbuster Video Blimp for providing ESPN with these beautiful aerial views of tonight's event here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Hi, guys. Cool evening down here. I would imagine even a little bit cooler up there, but they got their jackets on. Very comfortable. Temperature tonight supposed to drop down into the 60s, low 60s, upper 50s. Turner will receive this one at the 3. Has an opening up the near sideline at the 45 and is pushed out of bounds just short of midfield.
Jim Turner.
Magic Benton finally got it.
Ron, this is another area of the field where Syracuse offensively is very dangerous because Jim Turner on this kickoff return is going to give them great field position. Again, tremendous track speed by Jim Turner, number 15. But this is the type of area where Syracuse is known to run a lot of trick plays in the past. Where they'll run some reverse passes, but this would be a nice area to throw the ball here. Start off the series with Donovan McNabb.
That is a 45-yard return. McIntosh comes into the ball game with the running back, number 28. First carry for him, takes it right up the middle. And we get an opportunity to look at the freshman out of Cheshire, Connecticut. 5'8", 180 pounds.
When you talk about the offensive line for Miami, I think Syracuse offensive line is doing an excellent job also. Ledger, Ellsworth, Pennypacker, Prescott, and Warren kind of owning that first quarter against the Miami defensive front and linebackers.
You can see John Michaelitis has come into the ballgame also, Mike, on that offensive front, number 76. He's a junior out of Linwood, New Jersey, 6'4", 325. Syracuse has started rotating 9 different offensive linemen to keep them fresh. McNabb incomplete, threw it just a tad low for Harrison. $12 minutes, 30 seconds left until halftime. 10-7, our new score. Miami just took the ball 77 yards in 9 plays. Ferguson scoring from 2 yards out. But the drive took 4:06 to complete. McNabb rolls the pocket, sets and throws, has it complete to Sermon Wilson, and he'll take it almost to the 31-yard line. Earl Little and Tremaine Mack make the tackle.
What Syracuse did on this play, Ron, they went to a unbalanced line where they got all their linemen except 2 to the backside. Sermon Wilson on the curl route, they used Marvin Harrison to decoy to come in underneath to free up Sermon Wilson.
Mike, why is it I get the feeling that McNabb is such a good athlete? He likes to reverse out and throw against the grain, maybe better than rolling to his right.
I think he likes the fact of being outside the tackle box and throwing the ball.
McIntosh Big over the middle. He's going to have close to 10. Yes, he will have 10 yards. And Chris Gibson finally puts the stop on him. Mike Tirico, let's check back with you.
Boy, Ron, Steve Sarkisian, the BYU quarterback, is having a great game. 30 of 33. He's close to 400 yards passing, and for good measure, a 10-yard quarterback draw. Cougars in a must-win situation for the WAC title, lead by 10.
Well, 66 points scored in that one. Nothing new in those two. Our situation, Syracuse by 3 and driving with a first down at the 20. And McIntosh is going to be stopped after 3 on this one as Marlon Barnes, a sophomore from here in Miami, rides him down.
We haven't called Ray Lewis's name a lot. And again, we talked about early in the game, he's playing hurt tonight. He's got both his ankles sprained. Has had a tough time practicing. Really a top-notch linebacker, a Butkus candidate. Just not up to form injury-wise.
And you know that this is really killing him, not being 100% in this ball game. And as well as he runs when the wheels won't work, that's terribly frustrating. Play action. Deep over the middle. Should have been intercepted by Tremaine Mack. And that's the first bad pass we've seen McNabb throw. He just put it up for grabs.
It's a big mistake, though, by Tremaine Mack. And Donovan McNabb knows he's made a mistake. He's only thrown 3 interceptions this year, so he threw one right to Tremaine Mack. There's no one open here. He gets a little pressure, but where he makes his mistake, he throws off the back foot. Anytime you throw off the back foot, you can almost expect that it's going to be an interception. But now Syracuse has to make Miami pay. You see how his momentum was fading away. Kennard Lang putting pressure on him. But now let's see if Donovan McNabb can make Miami pay for not getting the interception.
Sometimes that's what happens when you're such a good athlete, as McNabb is you can get away with that in high school, but you can't do it in Division I football.
Well, he got away with it tonight on that play, but let's see if he can make him pay here.
Quarterback draw. 5, 10. He's at the 5-yard line. Makes another miss. Gets a block, and he will score from 18 yards out. And it was Harrison who threw the block.
Ron, how many times do you see it? I know when I was coaching, you see an opportunity to take the ball away, and you don't make the play, and then the next play, Donovan McNabb knows he got away with an interception that should have been there. Comes back on the quarterback draw, gets a great block by Marvin Harrison in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, you see why Marvin's got that C on his chest. He's a team guy. He not only is the leading all-time receiver at Syracuse, but even when he's not carrying the football or receiving the football, he's here to block for his teammates. Murray tries to put point number 17 on the board for Syracuse. Got it, so let's take a timeout. 10:41 left until halftime. Syracuse again by 10. Moon over Miami. 17-7. Syracuse leads this one.
You talked about early in the ball game about the kickers for Syracuse. We'll get back to that. But Donovan McNabb's yardage tonight, pass yardage 71. No yards on the option yet. They haven't run the option where he's the ball carrier. Scramble yards include a quarterback draw, because that was quarterback draw in the last play, 32 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Ron Turner's kickoff return was big in setting up the field position for Syracuse in that last score. And as you talked about, Miami hardly gets a chance to return, so there's a big advantage for Syracuse in the kicking game tonight.
Well, Reale's going to kick this one off. He has an 80 win. See if he can get it to the end zone. Trent Jones and Magic Benton back deep. He'll take it 1 yard deep. This is Benton. Feet, and he'll take it to the 25, and let's check once again with Mike Adams. Mike?
You guys were mentioning that in high school was Donovan McNabb, a great basketball player at Mount Carmel High, and he said the big carryover from the basketball court to the football field, it helps him be more elusive. And as you can see on this quarterback draw, he had plenty of elusiveness. He made several great moves which looked terrific from the field. He has been a big difference this season, and Jimmy Boeheim, once this season is over, after the bowl games are over, is going to have him on the basketball court for Syracuse. Number 5, Donovan McNabb, and it's hard to believe we have seen so many freshmen, even though he's a redshirt freshman, make a dramatic impact this year. Guys?
Yeah, that's for sure. Syracuse now over the 100-yard mark rushing. He has 32 of the 101. Big opening for Ferguson, and he will have 10 yards. And I'm going to say now with officially 11. So a first down for Miami.
Well, we had the Miami game, Florida State game this year, and he looked like he was limping a little bit in that game. But tonight, he is just looks like he's shot out of a cannon when he gets that football.
You know, of all the injuries they've had this year, Danielle Ferguson was not injured, but he was bitten by a spider and had to miss practice one day, maybe two, and they nicknamed him Spider-Man. His teammates did after he was bitten. That was his injury. Beyond that, he's stayed, for the most part, healthy. Mercier in front with the block, and he'll take this one to the 41. Cottrell defensively for Syracuse. It's a gain of 4. Blunt pictures tonight and a very clear evening in Miami, Florida. 17-7 Syracuse over Miami. Ferguson to the right. Blockers in front. Not going to have the first down. He'll have a gain of a couple. And now for our Sega Sports students of the game from Miami. Junior linebacker Tony Coley. Tony is a physical therapy major with a 3.0 GPA. And from Syracuse, senior guard Cy Ellsworth. Cy is a social studies education major with a 3.1 GPA. Sega Sports congratulates these fine student athletes. Sega. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Mike Adamle coming to you from the Orange Bowl in Miami. Final regular season primetime telecast. And there's a timeout call, so let's take it with them. Syracuse by 10 with 8:45 until halftime. 17-7, Syracuse leads. A big third down play for the Miami Hurricanes, and how they would dearly love to have this guy back who's on the sideline. Casey Jones had bone spurs in his knee, had to have surgery. He's lost for the season. Many people think as good a center as there is in college football this year. Third down, and it's Ferguson. Deep point of the eye, and with that second effort, he'll have the first down with Cottrell hanging on to him.
Got a good block out of fullback again. Derek Harris, number 34. Nate Hemsley again making the tackle.
Since Cottrell is coming to the ball game, we have him unofficially for 5 stops.
See, the deep handoff gives Danielle Ferguson a chance to get squared up. Good vision, find the hole, follow Derek Harris.
Clock about to go under 8 minutes until halftime. Daphnis in motion. Pass out of the flat goes to him. And he gets turned to flip just inside the 45, and he's close to the first down as Hemsley and Gadsden combine on the stop.
Gerald Daphnis is going to go in motion. Now he looks like he's going to block. Now he'll release into the flat. Wide open. Syracuse loses him because of the fake to Danielle Ferguson. Hemsley again on the tackle.
So second down and short. Syracuse 17, Miami 7. Hurricanes trying to get back in this one. They closed it to within a field goal early. Tom Swamp's going to go on top, and Clemens looking at the 1-yard line, incomplete for Yatil Green.
Ron, he not only had Yatil Green open, he had Jamie German open too.
He sure did on this side of the field.
Yeah, good call, 2nd and 1. You can come back and pick up the first down. Yatil Green's going to take it inside. Now he fades back outside. Pretty good coverage, but Donovan Darius trying to catch up to him, but he's beat. Just needs to get the football just out of the outstretched hands of Yatil Green.
A lot of people think one of the reasons for the emergence of Jamie German this year is because Green scares so many people and gets double coverage that Jamie gets singled a lot. Straight ahead, Ferguson. He's going to have the first down plus 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 yards more. Donovan Darius is holding on.
Syracuse cannot stop Danielle Ferguson. He's having his way here in the first half with 7:23 to go.
Right behind Wayner, the center, and Richard Mercier, number 62, the guard on the right side.
You look at his rush chart. He's having success off the right guard, 5 plays, 24 yards, and off the left side, left tackle, 5 for 28 yards.
Let's keep an eye on Mercier this time. You said he's doing well off right guard. Youngster who's a freshman out of Montreal, Quebec. There he goes up the middle again and down close to the 25-yard line. Mike Mercier, to me, is quite a story. He was a championship skier, and you stop and think that now he's 6'4", 274. But probably what's most interesting about him is you see the replay. There he is with his block inside. Is the young man speaks fluent French. I asked his mom yesterday at practice. She said CBC, the French-speaking in CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Company, is down to do a story on him. I said, does he take French here at Miami? She said, my Lord, no, he's already had 10 years at home. Ferguson, 5, 10, almost 15 yards. He's down to the 11, and this crowd loves it. The running game getting it done for the Hurricanes tonight.
You have to credit the fullbacks, because the fullbacks, Derek Harris and Carlo Joseph, number 40 on this last play, gets another good block. You see the fullback, see the tight end in motion, but watch number 40, Carlo Joseph. He's got a crunching block on Nate Hensley there, number 41, and now you're in the secondary. Donovan Darius has to make the tackle.
Mike, he's averaging Ferguson right at 6 yards a carry, 87 yards on 15 attempts in his first half. First down looked like a busted play. Nobody to fake to, and Clement did the smart thing. He just threw it away.
He did the smart thing, Ron, but sometimes your lineman can drift downfield on that play, because that was supposed to be a run. Both his receivers were blocking. So the only player that knew it was going to be a pass was Ryan Clement. And sometimes your linemen get down, you get the illegal player downfield.
Yeah, those secrets can get you in all kind of trouble. 5:44. The clock is stopped. Syracuse by 10. And Miami trying desperately to put another 7 spot on the board.
Ron, as well as they're running the ball with Danielle Ferguson, the player that becomes the player that watches the tight ends down here, because Saeed Tucker and Gerald Daphnis have been open when they've been going in motion.
They go with the running play back into the boundary. Ferguson turns the corner, and he is going to be out of bounds at the 3.5-yard line as Nash and Parker combine on the stop.
Ron, I hope we have Derek Harris's block on this play, because he is just smashing people coming out of that fullback position. And they're alternating Derek Harris and Carlo Joseph, and both of them, you've got to be impressed with the way the fullbacks are blocking for Danielle Ferguson.
He's just gone over 1,000 yards, the second player in Miami history to rush for 1,000 plus. So it's third down. They can pick up the first down without scoring. They need the one. Ferguson, right side, and he ran into Simonette. His guard was out in front and trying to block. It took his legs right out from under him.
He never really got to the defensive line of Syracuse, because he ran right over Alan Simonette. You're right.
You kick it or do you go for it, Mike?
Tough call right here.
Nobody's moved on the sideline.
I think I'd kick the field goal. They're going for the touchdown.
Chris C. Jones checks in, the tight end. Crowd loves it, but their job doesn't depend on it.
No, but this first year you can do this. You can make these calls.
Chris C. Jones in motion. The pitch goes to Ferguson. Blocker in front, turns it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Ron, he got another great block from Derek Harris.
98 yards on 18 carries by Danielle Ferguson.
Well, a good call by Larry Coker going outside. Danielle Ferguson been tough to stop. Derek Harris, the fullback, with another bone-crushing block, and they're in the end zone.
Trying to cut it to 3 points. Pruitt has got it.
You know, watch this play. Danielle Ferguson's going to get the pitch. Gets good help from Mercier, but look, watch the block of number 34 on Daryl Parker. I mean, that makes the play. That gets him in the end zone. So Derek Harris, really, on that whole series, as Butch Davis looks for the touchdown, Derek Harris and Carlo Joseph, the two fullbacks.
Mike Adamle, let's go down and check in with you.
Danielle Ferguson, as you mentioned, Ron, only the second player in Miami history to rush for over 1,000 yards in a single season. But who was the first? Was it James Stewart? No, not Stephen McGuire, Cleveland Gary, Melvin Brenton? Alonzo Highsmith? No, you have to go back to 1978. Otis Anderson, he had 1,226 yards.
Okay, here's a look at Danielle right there. Butch Davis did an interesting thing after that first touchdown drive by Miami. We talked about the injuries to the offensive linemen and the fact that they only had like 5 kids left. And he assembled the offensive line on the sideline, and he hugged every one of them, patted on the headgear, and really going with a total positive approach, telling them what a good job they had done. And they just did it again. McIntyre. He takes a shot just shy of the 25-yard line. But a classic rivalry in the Atlantic Division Eastern Conference. Defending Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils take on the New York Rangers. Led by Mark Messier with 13 goals and 13 assists, 26 points. But the latest player to reach the 500 career goal mark. Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. The Devils and the Rangers. ESPN 2. We talked about how confident Syracuse was, and they are confident. But right now what's happened is Miami wants this badly, and they had gotten this crowd back in the ballgame. Big opening. Thomas. Boy, does he take a shot from Chris Gibson. They're really seeing some licks being passed on both sides of the football tonight. Gibson, a junior out of Fort Lauderdale, 6 feet 183. Hit Malcolm Thomas after the gain of 5. Second and 5. They fake the counter trade, then throw it to the tight end, Cincino, and he's going to take it all the way out to close to the 50-yard line. And it's Cooley who makes the tackle, a gain of 20.
Ron, when your running game is going so effectively as Syracuse is able to get their running game going, then all the ball fakes, here's the fake now to Malcolm Thomas. Everybody moves with the tailback. Tight end, Kasim Cincino is able to get open. There's nobody out there. You've seen that all night. Miami's tight ends have been open off the play action, and so have Syracuse.
Boy, the move, it looked as though they were going to run the counter trade, and the influence really glued them, didn't it?
Linebackers are flying with the counter.
Takes it to the fullback. He wants to throw. Going up on top. Incomplete. Jim Turner, the intended receiver, and Mike Tirico, let's check back with you.
Okay, Ron, if Colorado State wins at the Murph against San Diego State tonight, they go to the Holiday Bowl as the WAC champs. Moses Moreno, the quarterback, to Paul Turner. Works it into the end zone. Colorado State leading SDSU by 4.
Well, Sonny Lubick has been down here before as an assistant with Dennis Erickson and head coach of Colorado State. Really got them going.
Yeah.
They really had a couple good years.
Yeah, they really have. Sonny's done a nice job up there. Our situation. 3-point game. Syracuse leads. The Orangemen with a second down. McNabb rolls the pocket, drills it complete at Harrison at the 37-yard line, and good for the first down.
Well, Harrison can play. I tell you, he's got coach's safe feet like a sewing machine.
We're going to see him, Mike, in postseason play out in Palo Alto at the East-West Shrine game.
Well, Gil Brandt picks the players for the East-West game. He's out in Big Sky, Montana tonight skiing, but he's picked Marvin Harrison. Bob Blackman also picks the players, and Vic Rowan, and then we've got Mel Kiper picking the Hula Bowl players. And Marvin Harrison, outstanding player, and we'll get to see him in those games.
Yep, he's very, very impressive. Man at the top of the eye, Thomas. He gets racked by Marlon Barnes just as he gets the football. Going to have a gain of a couple to the 35.
Yep.
And let's check in once again with Mike Adamle.
Well, guys, Al Dotson is the vice president of the Orange Bowl committee. And Al, as best you can, I know the official bid isn't announced until next Sunday, December 3rd. Clear up the Orange Bowl picture for us. Is Virginia Tech still alive, still a player, for instance?
Yes, they are, and Miami is also. And we're looking at other teams. We're going to put together the best possible game for the Orange Bowl and for Miami.
If Miami wins tonight, is one of the factors going to be considered the fact that they're a huge draw down here in South Florida?
Well, of course, we're going to look at that. That's one of the factors that we'll be looking at.
And Syracuse, no way? Based on the fact that Virginia Tech beat them head-to-head.
Well, we're not counting out anyone at this point. The only thing that's certain is that the Fiesta Bowl is going to have the #1 team.
Okay, Al, I know you can't commit, but thanks a lot and good luck with this year's Orange Bowl.
Thank you very much.
Al Dotson.
Okay, Mike, that was Rob Conrad who just broke it open for 23 yards inside the 15.
Al must be a politician because he really didn't say anything, right? I'm sure the Orange Bowl keeping all options open.
Thomas needs to break one tackle. He does and takes it inside the 5-yard line. And that is a gain of 10 yards in the play. And it looks as though Syracuse is going to move the chains again. Chris Gibson there defensively.
Well, the impressive part of this first half has been the offensive lines of both teams because they've had their way in this football game. Conrad, number 44, with a good lead block from Malcolm Thomas, number 17. Good balance, not going down, using his hands to get the extra yardage.
So it is a 1st and goal. The ball at the 3-yard line. And this offensive line for Syracuse, as Mike was just mentioning, they have, particularly on 1st down, they have controlled that line of scrimmage. Go down as Thomas is hit at the 1, and that's going to be, I believe it was Terry Morris. Somebody in that backfield came up a little bit too soon out of a stance.
And Ron, the side judge dropped one too, so there may be somebody offside also.
Okay, we'll double check it. Syracuse is pointing toward Miami. Terry Monk will let us know.
Offside in the defensive. Illegal motions in the offense, plays, cancel, replay, 1st down.
Paul Pasqualoni. This time last year, Mike, we saw him at West Virginia playing the Mountaineers. We were taking for granted with 7 wins that they were into a bowl game. He was not taking anything for granted, but they got overlooked.
He was right.
Even this year with 8 wins, he said yesterday, our work is a long way from being over, and I'm going to remind them of last year before tonight's ball game.
Well, he's got a good football team. He's going to be in some bowl.
Conrad in motion. Another flag goes down, and the running play with Thomas will go into the end zone for the touchdown, and now let's check the markers.
Defense, penalty declined.
Touchdown, Syracuse.
Ron, you just think of the last time that you've seen a Miami team being run on like the Syracuse is running the football on Miami tonight. They've had those dominators in the defensive line in the past, and they have not allowed teams to run the football. But you can see Syracuse controlling the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Thomas in for the touchdown.
Melinda Mare looks for point number 24 for Syracuse. And he's got it, and once again, Syracuse back on top by 10. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Okay, Ron, just a reminder. Coming up, it's the GMAC halftime report. The state you guys are in, the state of Florida, had the state championship today. We'll have highlights and reaction to Florida State. Not a pleasant night in Columbus. We'll talk about what happened to the Buckeyes in Ann Arbor. And the Heisman race, very interesting now after what happened this weekend. We'll talk about it on the GMAC halftime report. See you then, guys.
Okay, Mike, we will be listening. 24-14 our score, and under a minute to play in what has been a very rapid first half.
Ron, you talk about the Heisman. It does become interesting because Tommy Frazier's still in there. Eddie George is still in there. I think Autry from Northwestern's still in there. But I'll tell you who's making a move is Werfel with the way he's playing down there at Florida. So you've got to look at him all of a sudden.
Right now, Syracuse has 24 points. 23 points was the total of Syracuse in the last 4 games with Miami. Now they got that before halftime. Reale to kick it off for Syracuse. Magic Benton 1 yard deep. Sunday night NFL on ESPN. Kerry Collins and Carolina travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Carolina, with a record of 5 wins for an expansion team, tries to keep its playoff hopes alive against a rejuvenated Jim Everett. That's Sunday night NFL at 8 on ESPN.
Carolina's off to a great year. Bill Polian's here tonight. Don Manili, the scouts, they're here looking at Marvin Harrison, among others.
I have a feeling that he has impressed, as well as number 1, Daniel Ferguson, for the Hurricanes. As a flag comes down, that was thrown deep for the referee. Jeff Danish was applying pressure back there, and Terry Monk says,
holding on the offense.
I believe it was Richard Mercier, number 62 on the hold.
10 rushes, 65 yards in the last drive, averaging 6.5 yards, and then got the touchdown on the sweep to the right side. So probably with this call right here, unless he could pull some magic out of his hat, Butch Davis would probably just like to run that 46 seconds off and get to the locker room.
And Ron, something to notice here, Syracuse still has 3 timeouts, so they can make them work and punt the football yet.
Fighting his way as Scott Freeney will push him out of bounds. Coming up next on the GMAC halftime report, Ohio State dethroned. Werfel's Day down in the Swamp. Michigan State, Penn State, a thriller there. We hope that you were with our guys this afternoon in East Lansing for that ball game. Brad and Gary had a really exciting contest to finish off that Big Ten regular season.
They had some very good games in the Big Ten. They really did have a good year this year.
102 yards now for Ferguson after that last carry. Going on. German is there and knocked away by Gadsden. Gadsden pushed it away as the ball looked as though it got held up in the wind a little bit.
Good play call by Larry Coker. Again, just trying to air one out, see if you could complete it, then get some good field position. Jamie German in good shape on Ron Gadsden, but I think you're right. The ball hung up a little bit in the air. He had him beat, just couldn't get the ball the distance.
And you see that wrap on his right thigh. He went down earlier, but they are so thin in the secondary as Miami is thin with their linebackers. Everybody's got to play in this final game.
Ron, now there's still 32 seconds. Let's see if Paul Pasqualoni, if they hold him here, decides to use his timeouts.
Ferguson's going to be stopped for no gain.
Can you use their timeouts? Yes.
They stop at the clock. Well, a couple of extra seconds have tipped off. And let's see if they make them add it to the clock. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back to Miami. The referee asked them to put 2 more seconds back on the clock. So 22 is what we have left until halftime. As you look into the eyes of Marvin Harrison. And the tough thing for Miami right here, Mike, is when you've got a class returner like Harrison, it was a very good time to call the timeout and stop the clock for the Orangemen. easy. You want to kick it a mile high and get no return. Oh, this is a dandy. Harrison from the 41-yard line, and great coverage downfield by the Miami Hurricanes as they stop him for no gain, and a 46-yard kick, and it's Trent Jones who was there to do it.
Okay, Ron, they've got 14 seconds and still 2 timeouts to try to get in position for a field goal.
That's a heck of a boot into this wind, Mike. All the way back to the 40-yard line. Syracuse with 4 wide receivers in the ball game. Linda Mare loosens up on the sideline, hoping that they have to use his services. They set the screen, and it's tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it was Kenny Holmes who got a hand on it. Clock stops with 9 seconds left.
Ron, what you have to do on the screen is you've got to be able to, your offensive lineman can't give it away right away. You can't just get out of there and bail out of there, and Jim Ledger did. Kenny Holmes read screen from the first step of that play, so he really wasn't drawn into the quarterback. You're going to see him sit right there. He knows it's screen right now, so now he's going to get his hands up, deflect the ball from Donovan McNabb.
Well, Linda Mare, his longest field goal is 50 yards. So they'd have to take this into the Miami 33-yard line on this play, if that's what they're going to do. McNabb in the draw. By golly, he may get it. He is at the 30, needs to go down. Can they call? Yep, they'll stop the clock because of the first down. And did it run out?
I think it ran out.
Let's wait until Terry Monk says this first half is official. If he holds it up, there it is right there. That's the end of the first half with the score. Syracuse 24 and Miami 14. Now let's join Mike Tirico for the GMAC halftime report.
Ron.
And 24-14, and off the top of the telecast, Mike and I talked about the birthday boy, Donovan McNabb, turning 19 tonight. And Mike, he really has celebrated in the first half of play, hasn't he?
Well, Syracuse hasn't punted, so that tells you Donovan McNabb's had his way. He's really played well throwing the ball and running the football. Take a look at his first touchdown pass. Fakes to the right, then hits Malcolm Thomas all alone. Here he quarterback draw where he just works upfield, but look at the athleticism. He's able to get out of tackles, picks up a great block from Marvin Harrison, gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Had an excellent first half. 8 out of 14.
8 out of 14, 104 yards and 1 touchdown. And he was the talk here in the press box at halftime. Everybody saying, wow. And there's a happy birthday to Donovan McNabb. Sean Reale prepares to kick this one off to open the second half of play. The Hurricanes will get the football, and they need to go to work. They're down by 10. Magic Benton from the 1.
Halftime stats pretty well even at Syracuse. Average starting position, their own 33-yard line. And Ron, the play that's missing in the stats is Tremaine Mack had that interception in his hand to Donovan McNabb, dropped it, and then the next play was the quarterback draw. So a missed opportunity by the Miami defense.
One of the things we'll talk more about as the Miami defense comes back on, but the 2 leading tacklers for Miami in the first half, it's Tremaine Mack and Little, a cornerback and a safety, and that's not a good sign, Michael. Swings it out to Ferguson, and he'll take it close to the 30-yard line, which will be a gain of 7, and Gadsden is there to make the stop on him.
Well, we talked about Donovan McNabb, but Danielle Ferguson's had an excellent first half for the Miami Hurricanes. He's controlled the ball on the ground, 103 yards, averaging 5.28 carry.
By the way, that is all of their rushing yards. Nobody else rushed for anything in the first half.
Well, their fullback is mainly a blocker. Derek Harris and Carlo Joseph. I don't think they carry the ball much around here. They're just going to block for number 1, Danielle Ferguson.
Clement to throw on second down. Going on top, and he's got German. Oh, and what a recovery by Gadsden, as German had him beaten by about 8 yards, and the ball was just a little underthrown.
Well, this has happened about 3 times tonight to Jamie German. He just can't get the ball out to him on the run. Ryan Clement with a good arm, but he's having some problems getting the ball out. But this ball's right on the money. Rod Gatson really didn't play the ball. He was playing Jamie German. Jamie German should have held on to that football.
Yeah, he should have, but I guess the point is he had to slow down and go up in the air. That allowed Gatson recovery time to get back. If he just throws it over his shoulder, we got a 21-point ball game as far as Miami is concerned. That was in motion. Ferguson, nothing at left tackle, so let's go back to the right. And caught from behind, and it's Daryl Parker. It looked as though he grabbed him by his shoulder pads from behind and stopped him.
You know what's impressive about Daniel Ferguson is he'll hit up in there. You should see him get the football from Clement. Now he steps up in there. There's nothing there. Runs right in the back of his fullback, Carlo Joseph. But now he comes back outside. He has so much strength to get outside. Daryl Parker pulls him down from the back of his shoulder pads. But good strength out of Daniel Ferguson.
With that, he did pick up the first down. Ball just shy of the 35-yard line. Right over the middle, gets it to Harris. And Derek Harris close to a first down. And look at the second effort, and the offensive lineman come up to help out. 66, Simonet came up and kind of hit his fullback and knocked him forward for the first down.
Well, you were talking about the average of the tailback. Nobody else carries the ball running the football, so how do you keep the fullbacks interested other than blocking? Ryan Clement finds Derek Harris late over the middle. This is the first time he's touched the football tonight. Does a nice job picking up extra yardage. So he's not just a blocker. He can catch the football. Now he comes out. Carlo Joseph in, number 40.
So they move the chains again, and the ball at around the 47-yard line. Ferguson. Across midfield into the 49 before Antonio Anderson puts a stop on him.
We talked about the offensive lines in the first half. They've had their way. The second half starts in the first 3 minutes. Miami following that big offensive line. You watch him come off the ball here and block the Syracuse front. Carlos Joseph with a block. And you see the hole for Daniel Ferguson, but you see the little wiggle move of the tailback to find that open area.
Blitz is coming. Clement gets by it. Drops it long. That pitch is tight end. He's got it at the 20-yard line. $29 yards.
Syracuse with a blitz. Dana Cottrell, number 45, is going to come on the blitz. Here he comes. Now he's going to force Ryan Clement outside. Just doesn't make the play. He's in there to make the play. Doesn't make the play. Now Gerald Daphnis, the tight end, who's working against a linebacker, is able to get free. And then Donovan Darius, number 20, is the closest man to him as he controls that football for another first down.
Mike, and he came close to not having control. If that knee had gone down, it would have been an incomplete pass if he had not gotten the handle on it. Ferguson to the right side. Has 5, has 10, and he was just tackled with a face mask and thrown out of bounds at the 6. And I don't see a flag. Possibly I'm wrong. I thought he was. Gain of 14 yards in the play. Donovan Darius makes the stop.
Well, the offensive line does a nice job here, but Carlo Joseph, number 40. If you follow the fullback now, Carlo Joseph, number 40. He's going to get the block on the outside on Phil Nash. It opens up the play for Daniel Ferguson, and there's the tackle.
He was tackled by the face mask. And all the fans down in that end zone were really trying to make some noise toward the officials. First and goal for the 6. Gained him a couple of yards. That's about it. Well, that's the 928 to Bogota heading out there.
What times they get into Bogota?
Bogota, I have no idea. I don't know. Beautiful aerial shot of the Orange Bowl here tonight. I'll tell you, the wind has come up even more. I know it was cool up in Gainesville today, and it's becoming non-short weather here tonight. We're glad you wear your long pants, Mike.
Appreciate that, Ron. Mike Adams is probably staying warm on the sideline. Awesome.
Second down. Boots it in the end zone. Got it for the touchdown, Cy Tucker.
Daryl Parker, the safety, had him man-to-man, Cy Tucker, but he bit the bait, and Cy Tucker was able to get in the corner, and he's open, and Daryl Parker couldn't recover. Ryan Clement with an excellent fake.
Pruitt with the extra point, and as we go to break, we take another look at it. 3-point ball game, Syracuse on top. ESPN's presentation of CFA Primetime is brought to you by the all-new Ford Taurus. A look you've never seen from a name you've known well. And by McDonald's. Have you had your break today? Now the shot you're looking at right now, high above the Orange Bowl, the Blockbuster Video Blimp is touring the United States in celebration of Blockbuster Video's 10th anniversary. And a good look at the ship right there, as the winds continue to pick up here at the Orange Bowl, and so does the gust of the Hurricanes of Miami. They have cut it back to 3. Now the kick returns by Syracuse, Mike Patrick, have been very, very big in this ballgame.
They set up great field position.
Let's see if they have an answer right here on this one. And they kick it on the ground. Taken by an upback at the 24-yard line. And out to the 37 is Stan Gibbs, and they're still going to wind up with good field position. Well, we want to welcome to the telecast a gentleman who definitely has an interest in what's going on here tonight, Frank Beamer, coach at VPI. Coach, thanks for coming on with us. And first of all, let me say to you, congratulations on an outstanding season.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be with you, and we're proud of what's taking place here at Virginia Tech.
Coach, we're going to take a look at this first down play as the crowd is really trying to get into here and get your point of view about some of the things that are going on for the Bulls. As Conrad will take it to the 41-yard line.
Ron, Frank coached with me at Murray State for a couple years, and Frank, I want to start off with, first of all, people are projecting you guys are going to get the short stick on this bowl thing. I know you can't be happy about the fact that maybe if Miami wins here, they're going to go to the Orange Bowl. What's your feelings on that?
Well, the Bulls have got to do what's right for them. And I'm not sure how it's all going to turn out, but I know this. We've got a good football team. We don't apologize for where we're from or what's happened here. We've got a great academic school. I think we built this program up and have done it the right way. And, you know, in a way, we've got a Cinderella story just like Northwestern. Ours is kind of going over 3 years. And then what's happened at Northwestern's great. Coach Cornett deserves a lot of credit. But in a way, I think we've got something that's building very exciting here also.
Frank, what bowl, have you talked to some bowl people? I know your athletic director probably handles a lot of that, but have you talked about the possibility? What are the possibilities right now?
Well, Dave Brain, you're right, our athletic director does handle that, and I'm not sure we're out of the Orange Bowl. You know, I think if we are, they're going to miss an exciting team and a very enthusiastic following. You know, the thing that we've got is ever how many tickets they send us, we're going to need a few more because things are really exciting here in Virginia right now, and at Virginia Tech and in Blacksburg. This Miami crowd's getting fired up, aren't they?
Frank, I was going to say, I'm going to get you to hold on for just a second here as Jim Turner just dropped a ball that hit him right between the 1 and the 5. And this crowd is just, everybody standing. The Hurricanes are back to this one big time. Magic Beckham drops off in a single safety. This is the first punt of the night by Syracuse. Sean Reilly heads for the snap back at the 30. The Hurricanes had the return on it. Good heavens, this one may be out of Dade County. Very high, and he makes the catch at the 17. Frank, what's been the reaction of your kids on the news that they have heard that you might not, even after having beaten both of these clubs, might not get an invite to the Orange Bowl?
Well, you know, we had the Virginia game, which of course was a big game for us up here, and we were able to go, and during that week, we didn't talk about bowls. We talked about Virginia and our preparation there because we felt like by going out and playing well against Virginia, that's the only way we could have a control or have any effect on the bowls, and we were fortunate enough to beat Virginia. The team was ranked very high. And then they've been on Thanksgiving break since then, so we haven't had really a chance to talk, but I'm going to keep, you know, whatever bowl we go to is fine. All the bowls we're dealing with are very good bowls, but, you know, I believe this, and I may be missing something, what we bring to the table, the following, the program that's building up, we're in the middle of becoming very good. I think that bowl's going to miss out if they don't take a team like Virginia Tech right now. Because again, we've got a lot of enthusiasm going on up here right now.
Frank, you and I both were at Murray State in the playoffs. Murray State got beat today, 35-34. But do you think it's time for a playoff system in one?
Well, you know, I've been a big advocate of the bowls all along, and this is probably what gets the bowls in a little bit of trouble because. You know, we're not talking about who's the best team here. I don't think anyone, you know, there's no way you can put Miami or Syracuse ahead of us in any form right now. And let me say this, we're proud to be in the same conference with these two teams, two great schools and two great programs. But, you know, the polls, we beat them. I think any way you go about it, we'd come out on top. So we're not really talking about the best team. We're getting, you know, other things are getting into it. And again, the bowls have got to do what's right for them. And I understand it all, and I still believe in the bowls. I'm still an advocate of the bowls after it's all said and done.
Frank, best of luck to you. And again, regardless of what happens, congratulations to you and your kids. You've had an outstanding year.
Well, thank you, and appreciate you visiting with me.
Frank Weber, head football coach at Virginia Tech. Pass interference just called against Syracuse, and Mike Gottfried, that was a very big third down mistake on the part of the Orangemen because what they have done is they have allowed this enthusiasm and the momentum of this crowd to continue.
You see Phil Nash coming over with his right hand, but I think he had his left hand on Yateel Green, and that was the call.
So we have 9:18 to play, third quarter. Miami trails by 3, 24-21. Let's roll in motion. They give it to Ferguson. Breaks it up the middle, over the 40 to the 43-yard line. Cottrell makes the tackle on him. And the running game with a gain of 13 there. Every time Miami has needed something big, it's been on the ground.
Well, when you give the ball that deep to Danielle Ferguson, he's able to cut back. Now, Jay Heine, number 61, gets the real good block. But see how deep the ball is? Now he has room to cut back. He cuts back to the right, follows the block of Heine. Finally, the tackle made by Dana Cottrell. But again, we've said it all along, the offensive line of Miami is having an excellent night.
Well, they pull the guard. Simonet in front. Ferguson across midfield and very close to a 10-yard gain on the play as Myers and Donovan Darius combine on the stop.
Syracuse just can't slow down the running game of Miami, no matter what they try to do. 4-3 front, they copied the Miami defense, trying to get penetration. Looked like a little holding in there on number 90, Jason Walters. Looked like he got wrestled to the ground, but no call.
Ferguson has done everything on the ground tonight. 150 yards total for him. Quick handoff, and they go to the fullback, and Harris, as they try to cross him up, he's going to have a gain of about 3. Cottrell is back in the ball game, puts the stopper on him.
Ron, what Syracuse tried to do on the last play was jump into a 5-man front to try to help them against the running game. Playing a 4-3 all night, try to jump into a 5-man front to get the extra defender in there.
That's the first yard rushing by anybody else on the Miami team. Officially, that was 4 yards for Harris. 150 for Danielle Ferguson. Corner blitz. Pass caught by Harris. Flags come down in every direction as he makes it to the 31-yard line.
Jamie German actually tackled the defender. Looked like Larry Tiger.
Holding on the offense.
And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Well, Ron, this McDonald's breakaway takes us back to the Murph, where if Colorado State gets the win, they win the WAC. They're up 21-3. Moses Moreno scrambling a 4-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Calhoun. Lead by 18 at the break.
So the seas parted for Moses. And the touchdown. 24-21 our score with 7:35. And now running. And that penalty against Miami. From the point of the infraction, Mike, they're going to have a first down and 12. So actually, they came away almost unscathed on the play.
Very fortunate to only have to go 12 yards.
Line to make is just inside the 35-yard line of Syracuse. Here's the corner blitz again. And Clement is hit and tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Phil Nash. And it's the first time that they've gotten to him tonight.
Well, you're right, Ron. They brought the corner to the short side of the field, and Ryan Clement just never really picked up Phil Nash, number 10. You're going to see him come right here from the corner.
Mike, he really didn't. He didn't feel him or see him.
Never was able to pick him up.
He felt him after he saw him. I guess I should have. He got knocked down. That's a loss of 4, so now it is going to be a second down at about 16. They set the screen to the left. Ferguson, he's in big trouble, and it's going to be tackled for a loss at the 39, and it's Jason Walters who just fouled up the whole thing.
Jason Walters, number 90, was an outside linebacker last year, played at 230 pounds, beefed up a little bit to 255, 260, and he is keying this play all the way for the screen. Ryan Clement just buying time to get the ball to Danielle Ferguson, but you can see there's no place for Danielle Ferguson to go.
Well, let's see. They lost 2 yards on that penalty, then 4 on the sack, and now 10 more. It's third down and very expensive property in this part of South Florida.
Just hang it up here to Jamie German or Yateel Green. Just throw it as far as you can.
That's what he's done. On top, flag comes down, and they're going to get a pass interference as Magic Benton had just run right by Phil Nash.
Well, that's the only thing you really can do in that situation with 3rd and 26, but really the play is going to come back, and they're still going to have a long yardage play on 3rd down because the college rules on interference. So not a bad move by Phil Nash to get the interference because it's going to bring it back a 10-yard penalty instead of giving up the long bomb. Nash using his left arm, pushing off on Magic Benton.
So the 15 yards is stepped off against Miami.
I tell you what, guys.
And the automatic first down puts Miami in business just outside the 45-yard line. Anthony Walker, number 24, checks into the ball game at corner for Syracuse. Terry Monk, the referee, saying a sideline warning called against Syracuse. Second time? Okay, so now normally, I mean, you see it enforced, but I don't think, Mike, we've never seen a penalty called against a team for sideline violation.
No, he's got the warning, and we've never seen the call.
Trying to get him back. So first down, just outside the 45. It's Daphnis in motion. Ferguson breaks by one tackle and then takes it to the 39 as Antonio Anderson puts a hit on him.
And Nate Hemsley tonight, when this game's over, he's going to know these 2 fullbacks very well, Derek Harris and Carlo Joseph, because they're running over him. Lead blockers for Danielle Ferguson. Hemsley's 218 pounds, 6 foot tall, smaller sized linebacker, really taking on the block of these big fullbacks. Harris is 245. Josephs is 235.
Well, the thing that's been impressive about Ferguson is he doesn't look like a very big back, but from his waist up, he is very strong. Broken a lot of tackles tonight, and he almost has a first down. Here is Walker hanging on for dear life. I believe saved the first down, but let's see where they're giving forward progress. See, the 3rd and inches, or they did pick it up. And they've asked for the change to get the measure. Really an outstanding ball game for both offensive lines tonight. Syracuse, their guys have been consistent all evening long. They've been able to run the football. And the same thing for Miami. As you see, just a couple of inches is all they need for the first down. And also, Mike, because of all the running, we've had a very rapid ball game. We only have 4 minutes and 42 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
They're both offensive coordinators. Larry Coker from Miami, George DeLeon for Syracuse, have really had good mix in their play calling.
So, 3rd down and short. Syracuse talks it over as they try to force them to a 4th down situation. The Hurricanes huddle with the ball just inside the Orangemen's 36-yard line. 9 plays, 4 minutes, 54 seconds consumed on this one. Clement straight ahead, and now we have had fisticuffs break out, and Cottrell continued to go after him, and a flag comes in. Now Daphnis comes over, the tight end.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Oh my. Paul Pasqualoni has got to be thinking as you look at it again, we don't need to help them. Miami's playing well enough right now.
Dana Cottrell, number 45, just didn't stop on the whistle. Referees did a nice job of getting inside to stop any further action.
Cottrell actually is fortunate they did not toss him from the ball game. So with the penalty, the new line of scrimmage down at the 18. Ferguson with a blocker in front. Tries to turn the corner. He'll go to the 13. Mike Brown took his feet out from under him, number 26.
The other thing about this drive for Miami in the 3rd quarter, their offense has been on the field the whole 3rd quarter.
They have. You're right. We're now under 4 minutes in the 3rd, and Ferguson is shaken up. Here's a guy who has 29 carries, 165 yards, and Danielle is injured. So let's take a break. 3:57 left in the 3rd. A 3-point ball game. Syracuse 24-21. Danielle Ferguson injured on the last play. He did walk off on his own as they work on his leg. You see his numbers, 163 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight. And here's a replay, Mike, of what happened.
You can't really see where he gets hurt on this play.
Watch Cottrell's knee, though, when he comes down. It's not intentional, but right there, it looked as though that his knee came down on the back of that calf. So it would appear they're going to do a retape job on him. And Trent Jones, number 6, is coming to tailback. The short drop, and they go to Daphnis, the tight end, and Daphnis out of bounds at the 4. It is a 1st and goal Miami as Helmsley threw him out of bounds. Helmsley is there defensively to make the stop.
Give some credit to Ryan Clement, the quarterback, because Larry Coker said when he got the start after the injury that he just told his coach, he says, I'll be better each week, and you see him just making plays. Gerald Daphnis with a quick catch here inside the 10-yard line. Ryan Clement's a good, tough competitor at that quarterback position.
Clock stopped with 3:40 left in the 3rd. Trent Jones to the right side. He gets hammered down. Number 51, Dave Rebar, knocks him down after a gain of 1, maybe 1.5. And the tape job, or the retape job, continues on the sideline. This is one of those areas where your trainers, you need speed, but you also need efficiency as far as making sure you do it right. That looks like a pretty heavy binding on the tip of the Jones, touchdown, Miami. Daphnis and Simonet with outstanding blocks on the play. And Miami goes on top for the first time tonight.
And Derek Harris, can't say enough about Derek Harris tonight, number 34. He has had a great game for the Hurricanes.
Pruitt makes it 28-24. And we head to break. 3:01 left in the third. Miami has taken the lead. And the Orange Bowl's rocking right now. 15 plays, 82 yards, 6 minutes, 37 seconds, and the 2-yard run by Jones. Marvin Harrison waits patiently across the way as McIntosh and Jim Turner wait deep for Syracuse, and they have been very good on returns tonight. Again, they put it on the ground. It gets by McIntosh and goes into the end zone, so they'll take it over at the 20.
Key plays in the last drive, Ron. 2 pass interference calls. There's Phil Nash, which kept the drive alive, allowed the first down for Miami in a long yardage situation. Then the penalty on Dana Cottrell, the unsportsmanlike. They had 45 yards in penalties on that last drive. Miami made the most of it.
2 pass interference and an unsportsmanlike. You're right, 45 yards of penalties.
Time for Donovan McNabb to get this offense back in gear for the Orangemen.
And the way he's been playing, that won't be any trouble. Straight ahead, big opening. Conrad breaks it out over the 30 to the 35, and now the 37-yard line. Earl Little saved what could have been a touchdown run.
Well, when you defend Syracuse, you defend the option. But tonight, Syracuse has not run one option play with Donovan McNabb taking the football. But they have given the football to Rob Conrad a couple times on the quick-hitting starting play of the option.
Pressure, ball is batted in the air and is intercepted by Kenny Holmes. Paul Pasqualoni knows full well that the exuberance of his freshman quarterback got him in trouble that time, Mike.
Well, he sees his team unraveling a little bit, but it's still early in this ball game. You teach your defensive linemen when you come in on the rush to get your hands up, and that's exactly what they do on Donovan McNabb. They deflect the football. Number 90, Kenny Holmes with the deflection, and he picks it off in the air. It's double duty by number 90, Holmes. He deflects it and finds it in the air and picks it off. Puts the Hurricanes in good field position.
So a flag has gone down, and Miami has been penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct because of celebration after the play. So back it up to the 38-yard line. And listen to this crowd. They're telling you what they think of it. First down and 10. Line of scrimmage to 38. Ferguson back in the lineup. Ferguson tries to turn the corner. He's going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage, and now here comes in a flag.
Holding on the offense.
Valencia a basketball on ESPN2 Big Ten Big East matchup. Number 23 Indiana against Notre Dame. The Hoosiers, who lost to Duke last night in the semifinal round of the Great Alaska Shootout, look to a strong recruiting season to make a bid for postseason play. Well, Notre Dame, after 10 years as an independent, finds a new home in the Big East. That's Tuesday, 7:30 on ESPN2. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Mike Adamley coming to you from the Orange Bowl in Miami. Hurricanes up by 4. And they've just gotten a turnover, but a penalty. And now the ball is back to the 49-yard line. Deep over the middle, intercepted. Cottrell. And Cottrell will return it to the 49-yard line.
Talk about a big play, Ron, to go back to the celebration call in Miami. That was a 15-yard penalty. Then they get a holding call, which took them back a little bit further. Then a mistake by Ryan Clement, and a great play by Dana Cottrell, number 45. Middle linebacker, sitting right here. Will sit back and pick this ball off. Read the eyes of Ryan Clement. Tries to move up in the pocket. Trying to hit Simon Tucker.
And I'll tell you right now, Cottrell would not win any popularity contest in this stadium because the fans still remember his throwing down of Clement to quarterback just a moment ago, and then he kind of strutted off the field after he made the interception, and the fans on that side were really giving him what for. He couldn't care less right now, though. His football team has got the ball back in great field position, almost at the 49-yard line.
We haven't talked about Marvin Harrison much in the second half. Still got to be aware of where he's at on the field if you're Miami defensively.
Miami fakes blitz. Now they come with the blitz. And Thomas is going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage by Kenny Holmes as they try to run off the block of Cy Ellsworth. And I mentioned back off at the top of the telecast that he is the heart and soul of that offensive line. And George DeLeon told me yesterday during the walkthrough that he said that Ellsworth has played with a separated shoulder all year long, and he's been limited because of the restriction. But you see the C up there on the jersey, and his teammates know what he has gone through, and he's still there for them. Zings it, complete. Oh my goodness, what a pass. And Marvin Harrison is on the receiving end. That thing went on a 6-yard parallel to the ground and never went down.
Watch him. He's going to fake like he's going to go up the field. Now he works up the field and they think he's going to go deep, but now he sits it down right at the marker, able to catch that football in front of Tremaine Mack. The great ones find a way to make plays in the ball games. Donovan McNabb with the throw. Pressure from James Burgess.
Big opening up the middle. James Burgess comes up to make the tackle, and they'll spot it down at the 35-yard line.
Back to that celebration penalty, because that's the first one that hurt the Miami team when they got the interception. Got a holding call, and then the interception now to put Syracuse great field position.
You know, Mike, another reason that Miami has given up more yards rushing in the middle is both James Burgess and Twan Russell with shoulder injuries, not 100%. In fact, Burgess hasn't played a heck of a lot tonight. Boy, this time Conrad hit by Burgess at the line of scrimmage and is knocked down. And now here comes a late flag in as both sides are getting a little bit feisty as this one gets late. Maybe I should say feistier. series. Syracuse picked up a really devastating penalty, 15 yards unsportsmanlike, and now Miami gets one.
Well, remember, in that drive, Miami took the lead on 45 yards in penalties by Syracuse. Now Miami's trying to help Syracuse along, making mistakes in the penalties. Ron, absence from a lot of our conversation is Ray Lewis, number 52. Playing hurt in there, just not playing like he usually plays.
Tries to bounce it outside, and that is a good one-on-one tackle by Earl Little. Just knifes him down just shy of the 15. 2 seconds down to 1, and that is the end of the third quarter with our score. Miami 28 and Syracuse 24.
Miami 28.
Well, if this thing stays as exciting as it was in the third quarter, we got a great finish coming up. Miami took the lead in the third quarter, and Mike Gottfried, Syracuse only ran 10 plays in the third.
They're in great field position now to take this lead back.
Morrison Thomas, the setback. Thomas, big opening on the right. Earl Little has to come up and make the tackle, but boy, he has got the first down, and that is a good, tough run by Malcolm Thomas.
Ran behind Roland Williams, a tight end, and Brent Warren, the tackle. Just opened up a good-sized hole. Terry Morris, a converted tailback, playing fullback, led Malcolm Thomas.
To the 5-yard line. Marvin Davis is there to make the hit on him.
Again, Donovan McNabb is dangerous down here to roll out with the football, play action, run the option. You got to comp the quarterback if you're the Miami defense, especially with the option.
With the second down. Straight ahead. Conrad runs over his own blocker, and now a flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
But Conrad has so much quickness right off the ball.
Illegal formation. Offense.
Well, mistake by Syracuse here. Illegal formation.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
So with the penalty, Conrad goes to the sideline. Turner comes in at wide receiver. They'll have Harrison in there as well. Also, number 6, Sermon Wilson.
Hit him with a quarterback draw down this area.
That's what they called, Mike. You're exactly right. Breaks the tackle, and he's going to take it to the 5-yard line. Ray Lewis finally put a stop on it.
Kennard Lang read this draw right from the start and was really in the backfield to make the play on Donovan McNabb. They had a stunt going on. He just misses the tackle. Had a chance to sack him for a loss.
I tell you, McNabb, even when you got a clean shot at him, as you saw right there, his athleticism is just something special. It is third down. The line of scrimmage just outside the 5. It to Harrison. Now he's going to run it. Gets a block, and he's going to be tackled at the 3. Coley finally put a stop on it.
You can do that against a lot of teams, but Miami has so much speed and quickness that they're going to eventually catch up with you. And Syracuse is going to settle for the field goal. Looked like it was going to be a throwback. He's sprinting to the left, but he wants to throw back to the right, but he got pressure from Kenny Holmes. Now the play's just a bust. He's trying to find somebody open, makes a good decision to try to run it in. Picks up some good blocks, but too much speed in that Miami defense.
Field goal attempt at 20 yards. And it's blocked, and it hit the crossbar. Tremaine Mack.
That's his 6th block this year, Ron, on special teams. Tremaine Mack, number 3, coming off the left side. Dips that shoulder, stretches out, and gets a little piece of that football.
And then Mike Gottfried, it had an opportunity to go across, and it hit the crossbar, but it hit it solidly and came back.
6 punts, 5 field goals, and a PAT out of the Miami special teams. Chuck Pagano's the special teams coach for the Miami Hurricanes.
Well, we saw one of those blocks in our game earlier this year against Florida State by Tremaine Mack. So Miami gets the ball at the 20-yard line in what had been a great-looking drive by the Orangeman. Goes for naught. Darryl McMillan still on his feet across the 30-yard line. Mike Adamley, let's go back to you.
And guys, what a year of vindication for Tremaine Mack. We all remember what happened to him last year in that Florida State game. He had a hard time with those long snaps, but boy, has he come on like gangbusters this season. Prior to tonight in that blocked field goal attempt, of the 11 blocked punts that Miami had, Tremaine had 5 of them. So you know he's having a sweet, sweet year and a little sweet revenge as well.
Play action by Clement, goes up on top. Looking for German, can't hold on. Gatson with a cover. And again, the wind played a part. Just held up the pass.
Good coverage again. Jamie German trying to bring the ball in against Rod Gatson. Looks like he's draped him a little bit before the catch. But he goes as an incompletion. And Darryl McMillan's in the game now, number 28. Don Soldinger, the running back coach, said that he's going to be a great player for this Hurricane football team. So they don't drop off a lot from Danielle Ferguson to Darryl McMillan. McMillan's team won back-to-back state championships.
So motion called against Miami. 5 yards stepped off, and the penalty pushes it back to the 26. The numbers on Clement tonight. Darius doesn't catch him. That young fellow was about to take that thing the distance for the touchdown.
I'm looking down at Danielle Ferguson standing on the sideline talking to the running back coach, Don Soldinger. And I know they have a lot of confidence in Darryl McMillan as his replacement because he's got excellent speed, breakaway ability. You're right, Donovan Darius doesn't make that tackle. It's a touchdown.
It's a gain of 10 yards. Mike, when Ferguson came back in the ball game after he had been retaped, when he tried to plant and turn the corner, it looked as though he had lost some of that mobility. And I have a feeling that's the reason that this youngster's in the game.
And it may be Darryl McMillan's opportunity to help Miami win this football game.
Gets it again. Boy, he gets whacked at the line of scrimmage. It's Scott Freeney, number 99, who is there to meet him.
And stopped by Darryl Parker.
Danielle Ferguson looking on for the sideline, 29 carries.
Doesn't look like he's going to come back in, Ron, just the way
sure
he's talking to the running back coach Soldinger.
And you it would appear he's resigned to that fact. 160 yards for him in the ballgame tonight. 163, we're now being told officially. Clement gets it out to German. He continues to fight forward, and that is a Miami first down.
When it keeps that Syracuse offense on the sideline, Jamie German with a catch. A nice pass by Ryan Clement, picking up the first down. Use a bunch formation where they put 3 receivers all real tight. Jamie German works inside, then works outside against Anthony Walker, number 24, for the catch and the first down.
So Syracuse scored 24 first half points. And in the second half, they have been blanked so far. And one of the reasons is what Mike just said. Their offense has been on the sideline. Hit in the backfield this time. Dave Rebar with the defensive stop. Well, tonight at midnight, the championship game of the Great Alaska Shootout. Iowa takes on Duke. Duke defeated Indiana last night 70-64, while Iowa scored. It was led by Kenyon Murray with 30 to lead the Hawkeyes over UConn 101-95. Iowa and Duke, midnight, the championship game of the Great Alaska Shootout. Clock runs with 8 minutes and 50 seconds to play. Blitz is coming up the middle. They pick it up. Clement gonna run. Boy, he gets hammered as he gets to the sideline at the 44. Mike Brown chased him down.
Daryl McMillan picked up the blitzing Nate Hemsley, and you're right, boy, Mike Brown just leveled Ryan Clement on the sideline. You see the blitz. Daryl McMillan picks it up. Ryan Clement's got time. Decides not to throw the ball. Mike Brown, number 26. He's going to come in and finish him off.
So it's third down, and the line to make is the Syracuse 47. Teal Green and Jamie German break to the same side of the field. They're at the bottom of your screen. They show blitz, movement up front, and it looked as though Simonette came out of his stance at left guard.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. Remains third down.
Hard, Mike, to stay in that stance when you see that blitz getting ready to come. You want to take every advantage that you can.
That's what happens. They see the linebackers sticking it up inside, so they know they're going to come, and they just move a little bit too soon.
Alan Simonette came up, so now it's third down and 15. Deep over the middle. Got German wide open, and he makes the catch inside the 30, and he's down to the 25.
Well, you got to credit Ryan Clement again with a key pass reception on third down. Jamie German got inside of 2 deep coverage, and Ryan Clement put the ball on the mark.
36 yards on the reception, and as you can see, German is injured after making the reception.
The end of the play, Jamie German with the catch. Here's the hit by Anthony Walker and Daryl Parker.
Looked like he came down on the football. Let's take a break. 8:27 left to play. We'll be right back. ESPN's presentation of CFA Primetime is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives. Speaking of incredible, these beautiful shots you're looking at downtown Miami with just a second ago, the Blockbuster Video Blimp based in Orlando, Florida. And we look forward to seeing the Blockbuster Blimp at future ESPN events. 8th play of the drive since the blocked field goal in this second half. The pitch to McMillan. He's going to throw. Got a man wide open. Touchdown. down the roll. McMillan, they had seen just enough of him and his running ability, and they gave it to him, and he threw the pass to roll for the touchdown, 25 yards. Pruitt knocks it home, and all of a sudden, the Miami Hurricanes have broken on top by 11. We'll be right back. Well, as you look at the scoring by quarters, 21 unanswered points by Miami here in the second half, and they lead at 35-24. Mike Gottfried, some numbers you just handed me, very interesting. Last year at halftime,
well, Syracuse was ahead 6-0 last year at halftime and got beat 27-6. So if you add the 27 and the 21, that's 48 unanswered points in second half play against these two teams. So they've owned the second half, the Hurricanes.
Boy, have they ever. And the one play that comes to mind was the 3rd and 15 on that last drive to keep it going. Turner with a return.
What makes a halfback pass effective is when your tailback gets the football and you don't know whether it's going to be a pass. He makes it look like a run. Daryl McMillan then raises up and hits Omar Rowe wide open. Now let's look at the receiver. You want the receiver to come down like he's going to block. Now you see the defensive backs pass by. Donovan Darius now wide opens on Omar Rowe for the touchdown. Made it look easy. Great call by Larry Coker. Another look. Daryl McMillan starting out like it's a run and just heaves the football down to a wide open Omar Rowe.
And Mike, what is frustrating to other defensive coordinators in the Big East, that was freshman to freshman.
Got some skill coming back.
Turner was shaken up on the return and is going off on his own. And let's go down to Mike Adamle. Mike, what do you have for us?
Well, Leonard, Mike, one of the first things Butch Davis did when he came to Miami was install that Dallas Cowboy offense. He went from 1 back to 2 backs. It didn't work out right away, but tonight it's coming all together.
Well, it really has. Donovan McNabb, and that ball is tipped just before it got to the receiver and is intercepted. Tremaine Mack, and was tipped by Ray Lewis.
Intercepted by Tremaine Mack.
Tremaine Mack in the second half of this football game has a blocked field goal and now a tip, which gives his football team the ball inside the 50-yard line.
Well, we talked about Tremaine Mack had an interception in the first half, dropped it, and then Donovan McNabb came back and made him pay. But here he gets a deflection off of Ray Lewis, number 52, gets his hand on the ball, and Tremaine Mack with great concentration to bring that ball in for the interception. Miami's got a chance to put the lights out here.
They really do. With 7:58 left in the ball game. They go with a running play to Trent Jones. He'll pick up a couple as Jason Walters comes over to make the stop.
Jason Walters.
You saw those numbers on McNabb. He's had a tremendous rate as far as lack of interceptions to touchdowns. But in the second half, 1 of 4, 11 yards, 2 interceptions.
They just really get frustrated. They weren't on the field much in the third quarter. Miami's offense dominated the clock in the scoreboard. And then when you want to get back in there, you want to make things happen quickly.
Jones, big opening, and he'll have the first down at the 36. Sunday night NFL on ESPN. Kerry Collins and Carolina travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Carolina, with a record of 5 wins for an expansion team, tries to keep its playoff hopes alive against a rejuvenated Jim Everett. That's Sunday night NFL at 8 on ESPN. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, tomorrow evening with the NFL action on Sunday. First down, the line of scrimmage just outside the 36. the 20. And the crowd wanted a flag on Gatson for throwing him down out of bounds.
When you lose Danielle Ferguson, who gets injured, then you come in with Darrell McMillan and then Trent Jones, and they just have so much speed at the tailback position. Cut back again, the straight arm on Darrell Parker, hits the corner turn for big yardage for the Hurricanes. Gatson on the tackle.
And you know, Mike, another guy is Tony Gator, who's only a junior at the tailback position.
They've got four. They can go 4 deep on you, and you're not going to miss a beat.
This is Jones, a sophomore out of here in Miami. And taking straight up the middle, goes for a couple. Scott Freeney is down at the bottom of the pile.
The Syracuse defense has played this entire second half on the field. I mean, they've been on this field 3/4 of the time.
Clock is running down, about to go under 6 minutes to play in our ball game.
247 yards in the second half for Miami. They've controlled the clock, scoreboard, changed everything in the second half.
In motion. Jones, nice job there as Marks trips him up at the line of scrimmage. He may have gained 1, and it's going to be a 3rd down. What's been interesting to watch in this ball game is a confident Syracuse team came in here and did what not only they had to do, but what they wanted to do in the first half.
Took the lead, controlled the game in the first half. But you've got to credit Miami. They've come out second half and really have not made any mistakes.
Well, the adjustments that Butch Davis's club made were great. Pass for the end zone, and Daphnis dropped it. He had a short touchdown, and he dropped it. Butch Davis, you can hear him on the sideline saying the field goal, let's kick it. Let's make it a 14-point ball game.
We have to credit Ryan Clement here in the second half, too. He's done a remarkable job in key situations, 3rd downs, making completions, and just had a touchdown pass dropped by Gerald Daphnis.
Pruitt's attempt, 34 yards. Plenty of distance, and he missed it. Looked like he popped the top of the bar and went wide to the right.
University of Miami salutes Ryder System.
So let's take a timeout. 5:06 left of the ball game. Miami by 11. 35-24. Miami leads with 5:06 left in our ball game. Well, as we wait for the call, this ends an 11-year affiliation with ESPN and the CFA. And in fact, the very first CFA game on ESPN was Florida against Miami. It was September 1984 in Tampa. Bernie Kosar led Miami to a come-from-behind victory in that. So we want to say to Chuck Nimas, head of the CFA, and everybody affiliated there, it has been a great association. We thank you, and we have enjoyed it. Thomas, and he lost his footing and went down at the 20. Ray Lewis was right there on top of him.
Ron, go back to that first down. I think what happened was the center, Harvey Pennypacker, snapped the ball, figuring that Miami was offside. The quarterback took a knee. Miami wasn't offside, so they lose 2 yards. So now they come back with a screen pass, and that busts on them. Now they're facing 3rd and 10.
And you made that point last week, that you think it's dangerous for a quarterback to go to a knee.
Yeah, you at least got to take it forward and try to pick up a yard or 2.
Offensive plays in the second half. Miami 37, Syracuse 17. incomplete, and it will be 4th down.
Well, they've got to go for it on 4th down. They've got to get the sticks moving. There are only 3:48 left to go in this ball game.
4th down.
You figure Miami's thinking Marvin Harrison here. Butch Davis wants to make sure he's going to roll the coverage to number 8, Marvin Harrison.
Crowd is standing and cheering on 4th down. They need the 30-yard line. McNabb, and he's got it right over the middle. Check it, Sherman Wilson, number 6 rather than number 8, and it will be the 1st down.
Sherman Wilson.
We're using Marvin Harrison again as a decoy to clear out. Let Sherman Wilson come underneath. Keep Syracuse hopes alive. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts left.
They fake the run. Now McNabb under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Davis and also Derek Ham got a hand on him. 2nd time that they've sacked him tonight. And a timeout called by the Orangemen with 3:06 to play. So let's take a break. Miami by 11. We'll be right back. 35-24 our score with just over 3 minutes to play. And Mike, we're about 3 minutes and 6 seconds away from the South Florida Orange toss. After that last touchdown, about 3 dozen came out of the stands. I have a feeling that the supermarket was hit for more than that today, and I think we're going to see that in just over 3 minutes if this score remains the way it is. McNabb deep over the middle, incomplete. Too tall for Sherman Wilson.
Good coverage by Miami. They had all the receivers covered. They brought an extra defensive back in, Jack Hallman, number 44, to play as a linebacker, and they had pretty good coverage on the Syracuse wide receivers.
Butch Davis. Oh, what a job he and his staff have done. Talk about adversity. Losing 3 of the first 4, and injuries more than you can count. That's out to Thomas, who'll get out of bounds around the 35. And Twan Russell, who we have not seen very much tonight because of a pinched nerve in his shoulder, is out there to make the tackle on him. He has played a few plays tonight, but I believe it's the first tackle we've credited him with.
You're talking about the 1-3 start, and the coaches were talking about it yesterday on the field that they just stayed constant. Butch Davis said, let's don't treat them any different. If we win or lose, just stay on an even keel, and they've been able to pull this thing back.
So it's 4th down. The line to make is the 50-yard line. Intercepted. Tremaine Mack with his 2nd kickoff of the night. He has a blocked kick and 2 interceptions on the evening.
He's definitely the player of the half.
Well, tonight's Visa Player of the Game from Miami, Danielle Ferguson. And what a ball game he had. 29 rushes, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. It became only the 2nd Miami player ever to rush for over 1,000 yards. And as part of their continued effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 to the University of Miami and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team on behalf of this athlete. And Mike, you're right. In the second half, the second half player of the game has been Tremaine Mack. Harris, the fullback, goes straight ahead in the vicinity of the 43-yard line. And at this time, we'd like to give a special thanks to some key folks behind the scenes who've given all of us an outstanding effort and an outstanding experience this year. Our operations producer, Dan Crouch. Our technical director, Brian Holder. Our editor, Mark Levy. Jonathan Freed and Ray Stadel. Audio. Sorry, Ray. In video, Cliff Davis. As the running play goes straight ahead with Darryl McMillan. How about our cameraman, Joe Vanderford, Tim Tu, Peter Dingle, John Lawrence, Ricky Lee Harrell, and Larry Fairclough. Rembert Young in videotape, Tom Small on graphics, and our sideline driver, Ryan Adams. Gideon Ace, one of our truck engineers, along with Mike Privens. Also Ross Young. And our friends at Sports Media in the booth, Freddie Kiger, Todd Hallam, and Billy Warndell. And also our production team, the associate producer, Pete Redpath. Our associate producers, Josh Hoffman and Lowell McDonald. To our super director, Chip Dean, and our outstanding producer, Jay Rothman. All of us say thanks, guys, for your effort, and we deeply appreciate it. And Rhett Van Buskirk, I beg your pardon, I left him out as far as the truck engineers. And we have a timeout, 1:13 left in our ball game. We'll be right back. Well, on the sidelines, Marvin Harrison walking and shaking hands with some of his teammates. Like this, an amazing thing. Syracuse has just really had problems with this Miami football team. And you thought coming into this one tonight, and particularly the way they played the first half, that victory was going to be theirs. But this Miami football team has shown great poise and resolve here in the second half, haven't they? Well, there's not a lot of people who have beaten them here. I mean, this is a tough place to come into Miami and win. Syracuse gave a great effort in the first half. You got to credit Miami in the second half. They dominated the football game. Residents in college football scoreboard coming up next. Immediately following our ball game, we have 67 seconds left as Hemsley has been injured on the play, and that's the reason for the stop of the clock. Tremaine Mack, second half player of the game. You know, we had him last year, and he snapped the ball in one of the games, and the Florida State game had a punt block, but he's come back this year, and he's been a force for the Hurricanes. Well, Mike, you could see him playing out when he got that block of the kick. Some kids, it's not speed, it is timing and just getting off the ball at exactly the right instance, isn't it? You have to lay out sometimes, and that's exactly what he did. He laid out and got his hand on that football and that block kick. And that was a turning point. Hemsley being helped off the field. Miami defense, Ron, gave up 285 yards to Syracuse in the first half. In the second half, shut them down to 75 yards. Ron, as we close down here, Mike Adams is going to be happy. His Northwestern team going to the Rose Bowl. Tell you what, got to take Cinderella away from that name there. They are for real and have been all year long. Gary Barnett and his staff, congratulations. And Mike, we'll give you an opportunity to retort here because I know how happy you are.
Well, I'm opening up headquarters out in Los Angeles where I live. We're going to call it Wildcat West. I've already talked about 4 or 5 of my former teammates. They booked their reservations at my place, and we're going to have a party.
Okay, what? And Butch Davis gets it back. German, also Little, as the clock runs down. Adamley, fine job this year. Congratulations to Northwestern. And now the celebration begins here at the Orange Bowl. And the Oranges begin to cover the field. 3 seconds down to 2. Could it be Orange Bowl bound Miami? Well, it very well could be. That's the end of our game with the final score. Miami 35 and Syracuse 24. For Mike Godfrey, Mike Adamle, and our entire ESPN crew, Ron Franklin saying so long from Miami. Now let's join Mike Tirico for the Residents Inn College Football Scoreboard.
Gentlemen, thank you.